Hi family, welcome back into our channel. This is Nikki. I want you to know that you are in a season where God is being really quiet. Are you in a season right now where God is so silent, he's quiet, you don't know what's going on in your life? You are in one of the greatest seasons that you can ever be in. So don't mistake the season that you're in right now, because God is quiet, because he's silent, because you can't track God, because you can't trace God. You are being tested right before your greatest breakthrough. I've been there, family, and it's so painful. It is so painful. And it's a very difficult season. You are in a trying season. God is purging you. God is perfecting you. God is making you great. He's making you great because he has something great to give you. And he has to make sure that you're ready to receive that big old blessing that you've been praying for, that you've been hoping for, that thing you've been anticipating for. You've been in boot camp. You have been in boot camp. You're in training. Just like a physical boot camp where God is going to see how strong you are, family. He knows how strong you are, but God has to prove to us how strong we are. You know, sometimes you think you can't take a step further, but God said, no, not only can you take one step, but I'm going to show you you can take 10 more steps. So you have to keep going. And I don't want you to do this by default, because sometimes we do this by default. We do this by not really knowing that we're doing it. So don't curse your blessings by murmuring. God does not like for us to murmur. He doesn't like for us to complain. You can look at the children of Israel, family. God delivered them. And they would murmur, they would complain. They complained so much that they began to crave those lentils back in Egypt. God wants to take that mentality out of you, that Lodabar mentality, that Egypt mentality, that bondage mentality, that mentality of, if that person doesn't help me, if that person doesn't support me, I won't get that breakthrough. No, God is purging you from that poor person mentality. You know, God can take us out of something, but it's that mentality that we're stuck in. God is coming after that low mentality that some of us have, that broke mentality that has followed us for so long. This is why God is quiet. This is why you're in a season right now where you can't track God, you can't trace God, you don't know what's going on. God is sometimes not going to allow you to know what's going on, family. But I'm here to let you know what is really going on when God is silent, when he's quiet. You're being tested. So don't curse your blessings by complaining, by murmuring against God about the season that you're in. He's still God whenever we're in a tough season. He's still God. He still loves you when you're in a tight place. He's still God. And he still loves you. It's part of the process. You are being processed, and being purged by God. It hurts. But he does it in a loving way, family of God. He's not trying to destroy us. He's God. He loves us. He's not trying to do that to his kids. So you need to know where you are today. You're in a season where God is quiet. He's not talking much. You're praying and maybe you're not getting the answer to your prayers. You can't track God. You can't trace God. He's intentionally being quiet because God wants to see what you learned along the way. You're in training. And training is very tough. But you can handle it because you're a soldier. You are a soldier in the army of God. You can make it. If you tell yourself you can make it, you're going to make it. If you tell yourself that I can't take another step, I can't make it, I can't do this, you're not going to be able to do it. You're right. You've spoken it. So be careful whenever you're in a season where you're being tested by God. Be careful whenever you're in a season that you've been tried by God. Be careful of what you say. because you're going to have exactly what you say. Remember, family, death and life are in the power of our tongue. Speak things that be not as if it already were. You have the power to create your own life. You are a co-creator, so co-create. And how do you do it? How do you create your life? You're going to create your life by speaking things into existence. You do that. And embrace your season. Embrace this tough season. Embrace this tight season. Embrace this season where you are being tested beyond measure. You're going to be tested right before the dawn breaks. Right before the dawn breaks. Right before, family, the sun shines in your life again. Right before God stops the storm, before he stops the rain. Right before God stops that tsunami of problems that have been opposing you and plaguing your life for so long. Right before God stops that and give you the answer to your prayer, you're going to go through so much. You're going to go through so much. And I'm going to be honest with you to let you know, family of God, serving God sometimes is really challenging, it's really tough. But what he does for our own good. God can see further up the road than you and I. He knows what's going to come and hit us before it hits us. So God is preparing you, family. He's preparing you for a big blessing. This is the people who go through the greatest trial, the people who go through the greatest tribulations in life. You have the biggest blessing. You're going to have a really big blessing. You're going to have an amazing testimony. I just want you to stay the course. I want you to stay the course. I want you to stay positive. I want you to surround yourself with positive people. Get away from negative people. People who bring your energy down, people who bring your emotions down, people who bring your spirit down. I want you to run away from these people because it's very vital. And it's very essential right now where you are. You got to be real careful. You got to weed out people in your life that don't supposed to be there. Weed out these people. You are wheat. And sometimes we have tares in our life that look like wheat. So God is purging those tares that are in your life. These things and these people that are bringing so many hindrances in your life, God is purging all these people from your life. This is why you can't. Sometimes this is why people can't stay in your life. They can't stay because God didn't call them to stay. And it doesn't matter how long you pray. It doesn't matter what you do. If God didn't call people in your life, they got to go, family. Let people go. Not saying you haven't done that, but keep that mentality of letting people go. Whatever God is evicting out of your life, let it go. Because the longer you try to hold on to somebody that God didn't call in your life, the more hell that you're going to go through with. But whenever you come to the conclusion that whatever God is doing in my life, he's doing it for my good, and it's going to give him glory out of it, you're going to fare better. Because you're going to know that God has something better for you. God has something better for you, family of God. I'm telling you, he has something better for you. And this is how you're going to get it. You're getting ready to receive an amazing blessing from God. This is why you're going through so much. This is why you're going through so many setbacks and so many delays. This is why you're going through so many oppositions and hindrances and trials and tribulations. You're going through so much. It's like you can't come up for air when you're getting knocked down. So many times when you think you're up and you get set back, it's a test. You're in the fight of your life and you got to buckle your seatbelt. You got to double tie your shoelaces. That's what you have to do. You got to put your gloves on, family of God. You got to be willing to fight. And you fight in the realm of the spirit. You keep fighting in prayer because prayer is going to change your whole life. Prayer is the key. Whatever you do, don't you ever stop praying. Prayer is the key. Don't care what anybody tell you. You know, sometimes people will tell you if it's God's will, you wouldn't go through so much. That's not true, family. Sometimes people will tell you if it was God's will, your breakthrough would have been by now. That is not always the case. That's just why when you go through things, you got to be around spiritually minded people. You got to be around kingdom minded people. And you can't be around people that just tell you what makes you feel good, that tells you things that make your ear itch. No, you got to be around people who tell you the truth, because the truth may hurt, but the truth is going to make you free. The truth that you hear is going to make you free. You are going to receive a big blessing. You are in training. This is why God is silent. And this is why everybody's running away from you. Everybody you know is running away from you in it. But God wants them to run away. God wants these people to leave your life, family of God, so let them go. Because they're going to see the hand of God on your life. They're going to see it. Don't you dare give up. Don't you quit. Don't you cave in. Don't you throw the towel in. Don't you turn your back on God. Don't you give up your dream. Don't you give up your destiny. Do not listen and adhere to the voice of the enemy. Don't you do that, because the devil knows how close you are to your breakthrough. He knows it. Keep fighting. I'm fighting with you in prayer, and we are already winners. We're already victorious. We're already overcomers. You're just going through the motion to get to that place. You're just going through that motion to get to the place where you desire to be. Hell can't stop you. People can't stop you. They can't. And God is going to prove to people that they could not stop you. And people are going to be in so much guilt for what they've done to you. People have done so many things to you unjustly. They've done so many ugly things to you without a cause. And they're going to have to live with the guilt. That is the judgment that God is going to give people. They're going to have to live with the guilt of what they've done to you. I'm telling you, family, people are going to live with that guilt because they know what they did to you. You didn't deserve that. They're going to live with the shame. They're going to live with the guilt of all those things they've said about you that were not true. They're going to live with that. They won't be able to sit at your table. They won't be able to walk alongside you. They won't be able to participate in your future, family. God will allow people to look at your life from a distance, because you know the people who are for you whenever you're down on your luck, whenever you're down on your face. This is why God will allow us to go through all these seasons in our life, where we're up, where we're down, where we're in, where we're out, where we're emotionally stable today. Tomorrow we're a little bit unbalanced, because God wants us to know who is really there for us. You're going to know who's there for you, family. You're going to know, because all these fake people, whenever you come up all the way, they're going to come knocking back at your door. They're going to find a way to get back into your life, but don't you listen. I don't care what they have to tell you. Don't you listen to these people. Where were these people when you needed them? You don't hold an ought against anybody, but don't you dare be unwise to listen. When people call you, family, that you haven't heard from years, and they tell you all these lies, well, I was there for you, and I was going through this, and I was going through that. When they try to play that guilt trip on you, I'm telling you, do not listen, because it's a tactic of the enemy, family. Don't listen. Don't allow people to guilt trip you and make you feel bad about doing what is best for you and about shutting them out. You had to shut people out. This is why God has you in a season where he is quiet. And this is why God has you in a season where he's pulled you away from people. God had to show face. God had to show true face with people, and now you know who people are. So don't give these people another opportunity back in your life, because they're going to destroy your life. You're not going to grow with them. If you were supposed to grow with some people, family, you would have done it. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard. You were right for them. I hear a lot of your testimonies coming in to me. You're saying you were right for them, and you're right. They weren't right for you. So God is going to give you that person who can give you equal reciprocity, family. You're getting ready to have a good blessing. You're getting ready to have a big blessing, so you got to get ready for it. You got to prepare. God is silent. He's quiet on purpose, because he wants to see how much faith you got. He wants to see when you turn your back. He wants to see, family. But he loves you enough, family, not to let you fall. He's going to pick you up, family, because a righteous man will fall 7 times, but he'll pick back up. Remember this: no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you, God said, I'm going to condemn it. It's already condemned. That weapon will form against us, but it'll never prosper. You are amazing people, because they're trying so hard. They're so consistent. They're so diligent in trying to destroy you, but all it's doing is elevating you. All it's doing is blessing you. Some people will never get it. I love you. We'll talk later. Don't forget to like the videos, share them, subscribe to our channel. Keep hitting that like button, because it helps the algorithm of our channel. You have an amazing voice. Y'all hear me? You have a voice, so speak. Be heard. Don't hide who you are. Let the world know who you are. Let people know who you are. Embrace who you are. You're very authentic people. And unauthentic people, fake and fraudulent people, don't know how to vibe with your family of God. They're not your people. They're not your people. They're not. but you're on your journey to find the people that God has preordained for you. You have been preordained, you have been predestined, and God has predetermined your end from the beginning. He said you were a winner from the beginning. You have nothing to worry about, so stop worrying. If you're praying, don't you dare worry. If you're worrying, stop praying. You got to believe God all the way. You got to believe God when you can trace him, when you can't trace him, when he's quiet, when he's talking. You got to believe God no matter what. And you can believe God because he has an amazing track record. He's not like man. God is not going to renege on his promise. He's not going to tell you something and change his mind. That's not God. That's not who God is. God don't play games with you. God don't play games with your emotions because he loves you enough not to do that. Some people didn't love you enough, family. So you have to learn how to love you. When you learn how to love you, you're going to attract people who love you the same. But don't beat yourself up, family, because we all go through things in life and we're forever learning. This is Nikki, and I love y'all so much. Go and have an amazing day. Go serve humanity. Hug somebody. Love somebody today, family. Call somebody. Tell them you love them. Show gratitude because it's going to open the windows of heaven for you. It's going to pour out so many blessings that you don't have room enough to receive. And I don't mean just a tangible blessing, something that you can touch and feel. He's going to do that too. But God is going to empower you to do what you thought you could not do. He's going to empower you to get done what you thought you couldn't get done. No devil in hell can defeat you. You hear me? That devil is already defeated, but you are a champion. You're undefeated. And everything attached to you is going to win. It's going to win. I'm telling you, family of God. Give me your testimonies and your praise reports. Thank all of you for what you do daily on our channel. Keep coming. Keep those blessings coming, family. I love y'all so much. Talk later. Bye-bye.